But, finally got done doing everything I need to get done this morning for my dad. I didn't have to work today, Thursday, or Friday. So, uh, because, Thanksgiving. Uh, so, had some, free time, and I was kind of like, since I'm basically almost done, why not just, just kind of finish off, going through my comics. Open that the wrong way. This is kind of like the, I'm not going to say the last part because I do have 6 more short boxes, most of which are at my mother's house. By most, I mean all of them are. So, yeah. And I know the 2 long boxes I had sorted by, you know, uh, what company they were. So, this first one is going to be DC for the most part. Uh, issue 1050 of Superman, which I know I bought this one because that's just a gorgeous cover, man. Like, so good. But in truth, I don't remember why I specifically wanted this one. I think this was kind of basically Superman's new power, or the fact that he got basically upgraded. I think. Um, yes. Okay, that's what this is. Yeah, that's what this is. So I remember buying why I bought this one because I thought they did not have this one, which is the one I really wanted the most. So yeah, and then I bought the one issue after that, and was just kind of like about it. Yeah, and then I know I purposely bought these because of the fact I really enjoyed like the little story that I was doing. Basically, this was the what was it? Basically, Bizarro gets magic powers. That's why I got this one. I know. Which do I really need this? I mean, I remember it, but I mean, it's nothing super cool. So I think I'll get rid of the Action Comics stuff just because not super big into Action Comics. This one I will keep though, just mainly because of the fact it kind of ties in with the House of Brainiac stuff. And I mean, this kind of does too, since it's like the stuff leading up to it. Uh, Doomsday Special number 1, which I'll keep this too, just because I really like Doomsday. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yes, and then issues 1 through 6 of Jonathan Kent's Adventures of Superman, which I really liked these covers, and was just kind of like, oh, I don't really know too much about him. I have his first appearance, I know, which I was kind of like, oh, cool. But it does also bring us back to the Injustice universe, which I did not know, which even more cool. I really enjoyed this cover too. This was a badass cover. Randomly Aquaman 60. So, uh, a Batman cover. Like this is, I think this is a reprint of that issue, I believe, with the Jim Lee cover. Yeah, the reprint of Batman 608, which I don't remember why I was given this or why I got this. I don't really care for it too much, if I'm honest. This one though, I remember smells like, what was it? Was it peppermint? I think. Was this a peppermint cover? Yeah, peppermint. This is the peppermint cover. That's legit the only reason why I picked this up. It still smells like peppermint, so that's pretty badass. And I mean, it's just an interesting cover too. Yeah. This one, Batman, the 10-Sided Adventure. I know I bought this for like $1, and I thought it was like the actual, thing. Uh, but it's just more of like a pamphlet type thing. That's what I can describe it. Batman: The Adventure Continues. Never really. I got this from like a mystery thing I know at Walmart because they used to do those quite a bit. Same thing with this issue. It's just a variant cover to issue number 5. I never, got into the story, so I'm not gonna really do anything with it. This one I remember I picked up because I thought was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool, because this is basically Batman versus Bane Batman, which is insane. This one too, like cover, mostly a cover pickup because I really like Batman Beyond, and like I thought this was just a really cool cover with him and Superman. Batman Killing Time. Never read this. Don't think I ever will. This is again one of the ones I bought from the Walmart mystery things. Batman number 45, or Batman Beyond number 45, which another cool cover. I've always wanted to get into the Batman Beyond books. I just keep buying them and I don't really read them, which is kind of stupid. I know, but Batman Beyond, one of my favorite characters. Batman the World, uh, free comic book day book. Don't really care too much for that. And then a couple different Batman books from the Jeff Loeb run with the Jim Lee covers. This one was like a $15 book. Uh, so yeah, pretty cool looking book. I remember picking that one up along with these two because I was found out my grandma died while I was looking through the back issues, and I just grabbed a couple issues that kind of made me think of how I was feeling at that exact second after finding out grandma died. So this one though, I think I got later on. It might have been at the same time. I'm not 100% sure, but mostly bought it for the Red Hood cover. Red Hood's one of my favorite characters, so of course I did. Batman Rebirth number 22 with one of my favorite Batmen, Thomas Wayne. Uh, First appearance of Bloom. Like, amazingly insane character. Does play kind of a big part in the Task Force Z comics, and that's where I kind of fell in love with him. And I feel like he has a lot of potential to become, like, very good Batman villain. Uh, City of Bane, Batman 83, kind of continuing from the King run. Uh, Variant cover to issue number 89. Issue 92, which I know I got, other than these three I got from, mystery boxes to do with the Walmart mystery boxes. From here, though, I remember buying at least a good portion of these myself. First one being issue 102. I know I bought everything from Joker War up until here. Then I kind of stopped reading after Joker War. And then issue 103, 105. Oh, 104, 105, my bad. Missing issue 106, then it goes to 107, 108, and then that's kind of where I stopped, picking it up. And then it skips all the way to issue 120 I got this from a mystery bag, actually. Yes, hi, Dark Carnage. Yep, hi, Harry. Issue 120 of Batman variant cover, which this is like a 20-some dollar book that I got in a mystery thing for $20, so that was pretty cool. Issue number 125. Not a huge fan of this cover, done by Chip Zdarsky. I can always get a different issue of that, actually. Issue 128. I think this is the... Gosh, what was it? I want to say this is the first appearance of Failsafe. Yep. It's because I, only saw it once. Only had enough money for one figure. Bought the movie Venom because I wanted that. Oh, never mind. This isn't the first appearance of him. Probably a little earlier. Maybe it is 125. I don't quite remember. but yeah. And then a variant cover to 128. Gorgeous looking cover, by the way. I love this cover so much. And then I started picking up the Batman run from issue 130. So there's 130, and then it goes to 131, 132, 133. I don't remember this character, but I think this is his first appearance. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm a huge Batman fan. I, read, like, the ending half of, like, the previous Batman volume, and I just kind of liked it. And then I got the variant cover for April Fool's Day, which this is basically the amount of artistic ability I had. So, yes, I already know all the good Batman stuff to read. I just, have a lot of other things I need to read first. 135. This one's kind of a little thicker. I believe this is the issue where he goes through all the different universes and gets, all the gear and stuff. 136. 137. 138 had one of my favorite covers of all time. Along with 139. 140. And then we go into the Zurin R storyline. And then, 142, which I don't think it was around here. It might have been a little later that they were doing, like, more in-depth with the AIR Joker run, whatever it was. 143, 144, 145. Yeah, not a huge, like, I say I'm not a huge Batman fan, but lo and behold, lots of Batman books. A lot of stuff that I genuinely really don't care to want too much. Mostly picked it up just because, covers and stuff like that. Except this one, though. This one was actually a steal. This is the first appearance of Joker's daughter, right there, which I didn't know that when I picked it up. Definitely could have been a better copy, but, I mean, for $1, can't, say no to that. And then going into a handful of miscellaneous Batman books. Issue number, what is this? 396. Yeah, I know I mostly picked this one up just because of the fact I thought it was just kind of a cool cover. At the moment, I really don't care for it too much. Nothing I really need. This one, though, I think is a key comic because I think it's kind of like the first time Jason Todd kills a dude or allegedly kills someone in Batman 424, which, I mean, that one's definitely one I'm going to be keeping. This one, again, mostly just because I thought the cover was cool. Batman number 447, which I'm not huge into Batman, like reading Batman, but he does have a lot of cool covers. This one, first appearance of Tim Drake in his Robin costume, which this is just a cool cover in general, and, just because it's kind of a big key for, Tim Drake, I mean, might as well just hold on to it. The rest of this, this stuff, I know, I don't really fully care. This is issue 492, part 1 of Nightfall, which I've heard Nightfall's pretty good. I truly don't care to collect it at the moment, so probably going to get rid of that. Issue 496 of Batman. Issue 510. And 667. I thought this was the first appearance of Jean-Paul Valley, but it isn't. This is just more kind of like a very cool cover pickup, so probably gonna keep that one as well. Batman Who Laughs, one of my favorite, like, characters ever. So cool. And that was only like a 6-issue, mini series for that. Yep. And then we get into one of my favorite things, Batman was Batman the White Knight. Let me just kind of grab this all. Yeah. Yeah. So this is book 8 of Beyond the White Knight. I thought this was issue number 1, if I'm honest. But basically, this is kind of like White Knight, but it takes place in the future with Terry McGinnis and other things like that. One of the cooler things. Book 2 of, White Knight Red Hood. And then there's issue number 1, which I think I kind of put this in backwards when I organize this. There's issue 7, issue 6, which, let me just say, Sean Murphy's art, love Sean Murphy's art. There's 5, really cool Batman Beyond and, Bruce Wayne cover. Issue 4, 3, and Sean Murphy drawing Batman, one of my favorite things. Issue 2, and then Beyond the White Knight 1, and then, what's this? Generation Joker. Basically, this follows Joker's kids, which this was a pretty fun story. I remember this one quite fondly. There's 1, 2. I really like this cover. That character's name is Neo Joker. I don't remember what her actual name is, but this was a very, cool thing. Harley Quinn and Neo Joker. That's a cool cover. The Mr. Freeze in this storyline, too, was also so cool. I found it kind of weird that he was in an orange outfit, even though his powers are cold. This is the one variant cover I did pick up from this series. I mean, the Neo Joker on that, man, gorgeous. And then book number 6, I believe it was only 6 issues. And I do believe they are going to be doing more with it eventually. I might be wrong. And then a couple miscellaneous issues of Batman, Superman. This is number 9 and number 16. I've heard this is a pretty decent series. And I do want to, catch up with it at some point. So I'll just keep those as well. And then I had to get this one because Nicolas Cage Superman. Yeah. Again, this is part of that same storyline, but, gotta keep it. Batman Detective. I know I have issue number 1 somewhere. And it was a decent storyline, I remember. Don't really care to, keep it too much, though. So I'll probably just get rid of that as well. Same thing with this Shazam storyline. Was pretty fun. But, I have no intentions of, rereading it. This kind of went along with the Titans run. Slash, what was it called? Blanking out. Future State. Kind of went along with the Future State stuff as well. So, yeah. I remember enjoying that quite a bit. Looks like we have one person here, so how are you doing, one person? Hope you are having a good day. Good night, good afternoon, or wherever you are. Hope it's good. Blue Beetle number 1. I believe this is right after they bought him from Charlton Comics or something like that. I don't quite remember. And then Blue and Gold number 1. Bought it, never read it. I heard it's pretty good though. And I love Booster Gold, so I gotta keep it. And then this is issue number 1 of the New 52 Birds of Prey. Genuinely don't really know why about this. I think I was like, oh, that looks like a cool cover, and then just never read it. This Birds of Prey, though, I remember reading issue number 1. Very good issue number 1, I will say. I think it's even still going on, and I do want to reread this at some point because I remember enjoying it quite a bit. Booster Gold number 0. Jeff Johns, Booster Gold. I don't remember what this really goes with. Well, yes, I've been collecting comics for quite a while. This was actually one of my first comic books that I ever picked up. This is Booster Gold issue number 2, the second appearance of Booster Gold, which I never knew this was like, the second appearance of him. I was like, oh, that looks like a cool cover. And I vaguely remembered him from the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon. And, Booster Gold, hopefully getting something of his own at some point. And then issue number 3 was after that. So pretty cool. Have the first 3 issues of Booster Gold now I think about it. So that's pretty cool. And then Black Adam number 1. This is from like I'm not going to say a miniseries, I think it was like 12 issues, where basically Black Adam gives it to like his great grandson or something, like the powers of Shazam. I think that's how it went. And then this is the ending part of Dark Knights of Steel. I genuinely enjoyed this so much when it came out, and then like the last issue just took forever to come out, and then I just kind of lost interest in it. And this is just recapping like the first handful of things that happened in the series, like when they were all little kids. So pretty cool. Definitely going to be getting rid of that because I can just get that in trade paperback form, which might be the better idea, I think. I don't know where to put this stack. I'll just kind of leave it right there for now. And then another thing I really enjoyed was the Dark Multiverse stuff. So here's the Judas Contract issue. Very fun story. It's getting a little dark in here. I'll turn on a light so you guys can see me better. This one definitely needs a new bag and board just because it's kind of a little demolished. But War of the Gods, I remember enjoying this one quite a bit. And then one of the greatest like DC stories in recent years, Dark Knight's Metal, man. Really enjoyed this series. Issue number 1, 2, number 3, badass cover, man. Badass cover with all the evil Batman. Number 4, number 5, and number 6. I know I bought this because I was kind of curious about it and then never read it, and I generally don't really care to. This is, Are You Afraid of Darkseid? Yeah, just a little one-shot book that I remember picking up in the store. Never read it, so. And this is kind of a bit of a weird DC book. This is something that I personally really enjoyed, that I fell in love with after seeing a video by Benny from Comic Storian, one of the greatest comic book YouTube channels in existence, like ever, and I mean that. Like, great guy. Everyone talks so highly of him. Such a tragedy that he passed away a couple years ago, or almost 2 years ago. It's been about over a year, little over a year, which still, even to this day, such a big loss for the community. But he got me into Scooby-Doo Apocalypse. Scooby Apocalypse. Really fun series. I do want to complete this run. I think it was only like 30-something issues. I got 7, 8, and then issue number 22. I can never find these, like, ever, and I hate it. So stupid that I can't find them. And then there was a Robin series that was going on in around 2021. I remember reading quite a bit of it, and then I think I stopped reading like a little later. But I really enjoyed this Robin series. Got to see quite a bit of a different side of Damian Wayne, and I can understand why some people like him. But yeah, these are the issues 1 through 13, plus the annual, which, pretty cool. And a very funny thing, a character called Lord Deathman shows up, which I didn't expect to see him in here. He is a character I see quite a bit on TikTok, or I used to at the time when the series was coming out, by the Panda Red. Very, very fun videos. I love him so much. Lord Deathman! Yeah! And then this is a series that has only ever had the 6 issues, uh, and that is City Boy. Very interesting story. Mostly picked it up just because I was like, oh, he looks pretty cool. And it is a very decent story. I will say, if you don't know, like, he has not been used since this series that I know of. But I do recommend checking it out. Very fun, small series. So, yeah. Just kind of trying to figure out where to put this. I put it right there from Dark Multiverse. Dark Knights of Steel number 6, randomly. Don't know why that's there. Because I know I'm going to be getting rid of my Dark Knights of Steel. Don't get me wrong. Very good series, but I don't really care to have the single issues of it anymore. Same thing with the Crime Syndicate stuff. Like, I do really enjoy the Crime Syndicate. And I know I have issues number 1 and 2 somewhere. But I think that might be at my mom's house. But I do gotta say, I did really enjoy this series. So I think I will keep this. That might change eventually, but as of now, I will just keep it. I know I'm getting rid of, like, the War for Earth 3, though. Which I don't remember anything that happened in that. And then randomly, just Crisis number 7. Like, definitely a lower grade copy of this, just because, I mean, that spine definitely a little bit janked up. So, and I know it's not like a super hard series to like track down, so I can always just get a new one of that. And I don't think I even paid $10 for it. I think the guy that I bought it from was having like a half off sale. So, and then a bit of a interesting series, Crush and Lobo. I think this is the first time they like team up together. Uh, and for those of you that don't know, Crush is Lobo's daughter. So, really cool story. Don't think I ever fully finished it. I remember reading like the first half of it, her getting put in her father's, jail cell because Lobo's a bit of a dick, and basically tricked his daughter into going to jail for him. Random issue of Earth 2. This is issue 15.1. Big fan of Earth 2, so kind of why that's in there. And then this is kind of a interesting book. This is issue number 41 of Hellblazer. This is the issue where John Constantine gets lung cancer, which very weird issue to just find, like, in general. Just, yeah, right there. And then this Joker series, like, I remember, like, another one that I think I started reading, like, most of the issues, and then I just kind of gave up. Oh, there's issue number 1. Is this also issue number 1? I think this one might be issue number 1. I might be mistaken. It might be number 4. But I know I picked up... This is number 1. Okay, The Man Who Stopped Laughing. Gosh, I think this book was part of, like, the series I'm thinking of. I might be wrong. I don't think this is the issue number 1 to this exact series. But, gorgeous looking cover, by the way. And then there's issue number 2. Okay, that's why. Okay. So this is a completely separate series from the one I was thinking about. So I'm missing issue number 2 to this series. Oh no, that's issue number 3 to the previous one. Because that's the Joker number 1. So number 2 to this series is missing. Okay, makes more sense. But anyway, this Joker series, pretty good too. Issue 1, 3, 4, and then I have from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I know this series also introduces a character called Bane's daughter. I want to say that's like either issue 6 or 7, maybe 8. Yeah, 6, 7, or 8 is her first appearance, I know. Not a huge key, but, you know, still kind of cool. I'm also a big fan of, like, Flashpoint. So when I found out they were redoing, you know, had Flashpoint stuff coming out, I bought, you know, as many things as I could find. I do have more. I think I think I have those in a different box. I might be wrong. But here's number 1 for Project Superman. Uh, Something that kind of just kind of, you know, recaps, you know, a book that was released way earlier on when it first dropped. I know. And I do apologize if I do kind of glance off, just making sure that I'm on track for time because I'm going to be leaving to go, you know, do something for Christmas. So, yeah. Continuing with Flashpoint, uh, yeah, issue number 0 of Flashpoint Beyond. I like this cover quite a bit. Just such a basic cover, but I mean, it genuinely works so well for, you know, Thomas Wayne. And then, like, I really enjoyed the main covers of these. Like, issue number 1, 2, 3, 4. But I remember going to the store and then they didn't have the main cover for issue 5, so I had to get this really cool Martha Wayne Joker cover. And then issue number 6, which I hope they do kind of go back to the Flashpoint universe at some point because it's still kicking. Like, that book legitimately confirms it. And then I also have the entirety of Forever Evil, which I ordered this off of eBay because, one, I really liked, you know, Comic Historian explaining it. And this is actually from my original collection because I actually did my own little labels because I didn't know, you know, how else to do it other than like a piece of paper and a piece of tape. So, very cool. And going on to the ending part of this stack is Jay Garrick Flash number 1. And I know I picked this up for some reason. I don't quite remember. Same thing with this book. The Flash 780 goes with that, you know, War for Earth 3, which I'm getting rid of the War for Earth 3 stuff, so that can go right there. And then I have issue number 3 of Flashpoint, which this is the first appearance of Flashpoint Superman, I believe. And then there's issue number 4 and issue 5. Oh. Apparently I had a duplicate issue of issue number 1 for Flashpoint Beyond. So, since I already have one issue and it's not an expensive series, I don't really need it. And then here's the rest of my Flashpoint collection. These are all like the tie-ins. I got really into, you know, getting the tie-ins. But anyway, here is the entire mini set of Citizen Cold number 1 through 3, which, such an interesting series, man. Really enjoyed this quite a bit. Basically, Leonard Snart's a good guy, but he's also still evil, if that makes sense. Like, he charges people to be the good guy of Central City. The Dead Man one, I know, took me quite a bit of time to, you know, complete, just because I could only ever find, like, issue 1 or issue 3, and I, you know, kind of wanted to get it all together. But I found issue number 1, found issue number 2 and 3, and a very cool set. Basically, Dead Man's not dead yet, and, you know, him and Dick Grayson are, you know, circus performers because that's what they normally were. And then, you know, kind of goes through all this, and then Deadman actually does die, and then, you know, he's protecting Nightwing from the Amazons because the Amazons are, you know, taking over the world. This one's kind of cool. Kid Flash Lost, basically, you know, Kid Flash just, you know, he's kind of in, like, the void, and he's trying to figure out how to, you know, help Barry and stuff. Oops, kind of dented the box. This one was kind of cool. This is only a one-shot. This is Gorilla Grodd. Very cool. Like out of all of them, I do recommend the Gorilla Grodd one, Citizen. Like all of them are pretty good, actually. This one though, this one just kind of shows how powerful Plastic Man can be if he wanted to. This is Legion of Doom, the entire three-part miniseries. Basically, it follows one of the characters. I think it's Heatwave, going to jail, and to help break out of jail, his boy, or to help break Animal Man out of jail, Plastic Man hides inside a dude's body, basically rips out of him, and then Cyborg comes in, stops that shit, and then they get arrested. Plastic Man though does what he did the first time and goes in and kills Heatwave, because Heatwave kind of fucked him over. And that's basically everything for this box. Definitely got rid of quite a bit out of that box. Definitely a lot of stuff I can say I don't really want or need anymore in my collection. So, and I know I do have issue number 1 to that Batman Detective series. Like, I mean, all the miniseries stuff, I'm definitely gonna, try to, sell as one, like, lot, just because, probably the best. And I'm just gonna go put this away in my closet real quick, which is, like, right past that. Like, it's literally right next to that, so it's not gonna take more than, like, a minute or two for me to do this. Oh my gosh, it's so much lighter, too. What the heck? Don't fall, don't fall. Alright, now the one that's going to be a little more difficult to decide what to get rid of, the Marvel box. Which side? Okay. So the side that's facing me is the front. Cool. And I do also have 2, like, short boxes, but I mean, all that's in them is actually stuff I do want to keep. I did kind of look through those. Another issue of Absolute Carnage number 1. This is a exclusive to... it's an exclusive 1,000 copies of this book, at least judging by that. Pretty cool. Really cool cover. And then, miscellaneously, Alpha Flight number 1 and Alpha Flight number 26. Why do I remember buying this Alpha Flight number 1 being like, oh, it's the first appearance of Puck, and I do have a Puck figure, and I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of cool. Then it kind of goes into my Amalgam universe stuff, which, gosh, I know I showed Dark Claw's first appearance, but here's Amazon, the combination of Storm and Wonder Woman. Assassins, I can definitely tell that's a Daredevil / Rose Wilson, I think her name is. Yeah. Spider-Boy. I was excited when I found the Spider-Boy one. Doctor Strange, Fate, which is 3 characters mixed in one. It's Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate, and Professor Xavier, I believe, mashed into one. JLX, which I don't remember what these are a combination of. I know it's Justice League. Like, I mostly just thought it was kind of really cool because the Namor, not Green Lantern, Namor Aquaman mashup was pretty cool. And then Speed Demon. Speed Demon was one of my favorites because it's basically the Flash mixed with the Ghost Rider, which that is the coolest fucking idea ever, man. Like, who wouldn't want a Ghost Rider? Like, that's, also the fastest thing on the planet. So cool, man. So cool. And then this is Spider-Boy Team Up number 1. This is, pretty cool one. I never understood why they gave, Spider-Boy a, like, gun that shoots webs. That never made sense to me. Just so weird. But he meets the, Legion 2099, which is kind of cool. And then X-Patrol number 1. Then, from what it looks like, it kind of goes into my Amazing Spider-Man books. This is issue number 559. The first appearance of Screwball, which, I mean, it's not even an expensive book in general, but, she appeared in the Insomniac games, so pretty cool. What's that? Oh, it even says it right there. I didn't even know that. That's not my handwriting. First appearance of Screwball and Paper Doll. Yeah. Like, it's not even an expensive book. I just picked it up because I was like, oh, hell yeah. Amazing Fantasy 1000. I don't know if I ever read this one. Uh, and I don't know why they, you know, called it Amazing Fantasy 1000 because, what is this? I don't really remember this. Oh, okay. I remember this story in it though, where basically everyone's like, "Yeah, man, you're the shittiest Peter Parker. You're the one who's had a life like none of us have had. We all have fantastic lives." That's basically it. And then I think the last one was basically, gosh, I can't quite remember. I want to say this also had something to do with old man Peter Parker, uh, and Mary Jane trying to take care of him. Blah 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 blah. I might be wrong about that. But I remember this one now. I don't think this is the main cover. I think this is a variant. But a lot of people working on this. Yeah. And I remember, oh, you see, one downside to like the ones that have the tape on the actual fold itself, the book gets stuck so easy when you try putting it back in. That's why I like the ones that have it like right there. So then you can just fold it over and not have to worry about rooting your book. I know this is a second copy for me, but this one's way better than my childhood version. This is the Amazing Spider-Man #1 by Dan Slott and Humberto Ramos. One of the cooler ones to have come out. Issue 251 of Amazing Spider-Man. Number 293, part of the Kraven's Lost Hunt story. I believe that's part of Kraven's Lost Hunt. This one I thought was just kind of a batshit crazy cover. 295. Ooh. The first time Hulk and Spider-Man fight. I know I got this for, yeah, $5. Amazing Fantasy number 384. You can never go wrong with getting Spider-Man books. Never go wrong. Issue number 16 from that same Dan Slott run. I only ever had issue number 1 for the longest time. And, I try picking up what I can when I see it, but I never really do. But I got these for half price of what it said on the cover. That is a Amazing Spider-Man number 788, first Red Goblin, and then issue number 800, which I think is like the first Agent Anti-Venom, I think. I might be wrong. And then the Nick Spencer run of Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue number 39. Really cool cover. I always, thought it was kind of, very Omni-Man looking. So, pretty cool. And I think that's also the issue where he, gives his identity to JJJ. Issue 59. And then I think 64? Yeah, 64 and up. I have a pretty decent run of it. This is issue number 64. 65, which I think I started reading slightly earlier than that. Maybe, like, whenever he got the new outfit, I know. Like, that really god-awful looking white one. 66. 67, really cool looking cover. 68. Ironically, this one I never got in stores. I had to order it off of eBay because I just physically could not find it. 69. And then Prelude to Sinister War. 70, 71, 72, 73, 74. I remember loving this cover so much. 73. Don't know where 74 went. That one's missing, but 75, 76, 77, 78, and then all like the 78 points, and then 80, 81, A2, A3. Oh, this was the one that introduced Chasm and Spider, not Spider, uh, Chasm, Hollow's Eve, Queen Goblin. Really, really cool. Really remember enjoying this series, or at least what I read. And then issue 93. This is where Chasm first appears. So pretty badass. And then, just the giant size thing for a couple of them, for King's Ransom and that. And then this is kind of an old one. This is the first appearance of Speedball, which I know I picked this one up just because I was like, oh, that's sick. The Amazing Spider-Man Curse of Man thing. Never read this. Don't really care to keep it, if I'm honest. Kraven's Hunt. That's where this was. Also part of the Nick Spencer run. Whoops. Issue number 19? Yeah. Then I think this goes to like the Dan Slott run. Yeah. This is Amazing Spider-Man 1.4. So, pretty cool. I know I had a couple of those when I originally started collecting books. Renew Your Vows, issue number 2. I love the Renew Your Vows stuff. So good. I have a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man number 300, which I don't really care to have the reprint. I'd rather have the original one, if I'm honest. Anti-Venom, New Ways to Live. I remember buying this just mostly because I thought it was a cool cover, and it's a decent first issue, I will say. So, but I don't really need it in my collection anymore. So, it served its purpose. It gave me, the enjoyment I needed out of it. So, and then I know a lot of people were kind of iffy on this series. But this is The Astonishing Iceman, number 1 through 5, which I thought was a decent series. This is after the fall of Krakoa and everything. And, really love this last cover. So cool. This one I know I bought because I thought it was the first appearance of this character. It is not. Aranya, the Heart of the Spider. Yeah. Bit of a mistake on my part, but, whatever. And then it goes into Age of Ultron, which I have a little bit of that series in here. Yeah, issue number 2, number 3, 8, and 9. And I know I have a couple more issues at my mom's house where I have like my original collection. So, Avengers 1 million BC, number 1. This was just a one-off issue, I believe. Was so excited. Yeah. And then we find out that, Thor, his mom is the Phoenix. So that was kind of cool. And then this is Avengers All Out, which just a 5-issue miniseries, which pretty interesting. Issue number 2, definitely the coolest cover, with Doctor Doom with Thor's hammer and Cap's shield. I don't really remember what happened in this series. I know issue number 4 had Hawkeye mostly buck-ass naked. And I'm not joking about that. I will show you right now. Where is he? Where's like a good shot that can prove my point? Yeah, there we go. See? Hawkeye's outfit just completely fucking gone. Yeah. And I vaguely remember reading this series. It's been a hot minute since I have, but, I really like all the covers on them, excluding issue 5. Yeah. So I think I'll keep that one. This one, though, definitely an easy, giveaway. I'm not a huge fan of Skottie Young, but, I thought this was kind of a cool cover, and only bought it for the cover, so, yeah. Skottie Young book, don't really need that. And then kind of some older Avengers from like the 80s slash late 70s. Issue number 162, first appearance of Joe Costa. Only know that because it still has the tag on the back. Avengers 224, 226. The anniversary cover of issue 273 with Black Knight on the cover. And then, what issue is that? 281, 288, 291. Oh, I didn't even realize I had like the Galactic Storm thing. Gosh. Part 19. That's insane. Gorgeous looking cover though, my god. So who was on the team at this time? That looks like an Iron Man. That looks like Quasar, She-Hulk, no, not Hercules. Yeah, Hercules is there. Black Knight. I think that's Black Widow. I really need to read that series. And then this one I specifically bought because I really love the Immortal Hulk, and this is the first appearance of him. That is issue number 10 of the Avengers. And this is Avengers No Surrender. Like, first appearance of the Immortal Hulk. So badass. And I know I started reading Jason Aaron's Avengers when they were doing, like, the new Phoenix stuff. So I have issue number, at least from this box, issue 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, which I really like issue 50's cover with, like, the Doctor Doom. Still cool. Then 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Issue 57 of the Avengers. Really cool cap cover. I don't really care to have that anymore, if I'm honest. I know I bought it because I thought it looked cool. It still looks very nice, but I mean, you know, don't really care to have it anymore. I'm probably going to change my mind and regret it. Nah, I need to get rid of books, and I don't... whatever. 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, which we find out who is Avenger Prime. And let me just say, did not expect who it was. So cool, though. That, Avengers 100th anniversary, which mostly picked this up because I saw Beta Ray Bill on the cover, and I really like Beta Ray Bill. So, I don't even remember if I read this. I think I tried reading it one day, and then I just didn't. Yeah, I don't think I will read it, though. Just, you know, nothing I really care to want to have anymore. So. Yeah, I don't really like the art on it too much either, so definitely another one I can get rid of. And then Avengers, the last Avengers story. Like, I thought this was like the actual, you know, thing, but it was just like a miniature graphic novel, which, I mean, you know, whatever. I don't really care to have it anymore, if I'm honest. This one, though, I was so happy when I found this one. This is Avengers The Initiative, featuring Reptile, and I believe this is the first appearance of Reptile. So that was pretty cool, finding this. We also need a Marvel Legend of him. Like, I know it'll probably be a little difficult, too, but, I mean, you know, just give him kind of like a Mr. Fantastic kind of body, and, you know, like removable feet and stuff, so you can replace him with, like, dinosaur parts. That'd be kind of cool. And then one of my favorite series, Avengers Forever by Jason Aaron. Basically, this goes through the entirety of the multiverse, just gathering like miscellaneous Avengers and stuff. Like, and you can tell by the cover that there's just a lot of different characters. And the coolest one out of them all, other than our boy Ant-Man right there, who is Tony Stark in this series, which Tony Stark Ant-Man, so badass, man. We basically go through all of that. Issue 6, man. First appearance of Vibranium Man, who, you know, is Black Panther, who basically got the Superman treatment, shot out into outer space, basically the entirety of his outfit made of vibranium. And then a lot of things happen, uh, and then he somehow becomes literally a Superman, which is badass. So cool, man. Issue 7, which is mostly just a Cap thing. Thor, God of Hands. Yeah, this is a Thor who becomes a God of Fists, not the God of Thunder, which was pretty cool. Carol Danvers gets her own issue in issue number 9. Don't remember what the name of that team was. Oh gosh. And then this one, we kind of go into Tony Stark, Ant-Man, going into beating his alcoholism, which, demon in a bottle. Really good that they, gave him like a newer part of that. Oh, beautiful looking Ghost Rider cover, man. Like, I love this cover so much. So clean. And then issue number 12, basically a lot of different versions of Captain America. Even a Wolverine cap, which is pretty cool. Really do like that movie. And then 13, there's a Venomized version, which I only bought this one because I was like, funny duck. Yeah. Don't really care to have this one either anymore, if I'm honest. 14, 15, and then Avengers Assemble Alpha, which I don't remember what this one was. Which, oh, this kind of did I read this one? I don't remember if I read this one. That looks kind of familiar. Mephisto, okay, I think I did. Yes, I definitely did. Okay. It's just been a while, and I can't remember what I've read and what I have not read. But I remember this one quite fondly. Just didn't remember the cover. I have a bad habit of that. The New Avengers, number 2, actually. So that's pretty cool. The iconic Wolverine cover for the series, New Avengers. And then New Avengers, number 58, big jump. Avengers, number 12 by Brian Michael Bendis. And then Jonathan Hickman, this is like cameo. It's like first cover appearance of Sam Wilson, Captain America, which I loved, how Marvel was doing their stuff in 2015. So cool. Uncanny Avengers, issue number 3 from 2015. Another series I need to catch up with, read. This is from the Uncanny Avengers book I was actually got as my first ever comic book. And then there's issue number 23. Don't know if this is the same one for my series or if it's a different volume. Avengers vs. X-Men, issue 1. What do I have? Issue 0. And then it goes to number 8, which originally I wanted to get that, but I'll probably just get the graphic just because, it's nothing I super care to get anymore at the moment. Avengers War Across Time. This one I remember pretty fondly, mostly because it kind of takes place like in the past, like with all the Avengers, and they're going through time and basically doing some stuff that may or may not destroy the timeline. It's a very fun story, I remember. This one, I know I actually bought an upgrade for it. This is issue number 3 of West Coast Avengers, their first miniseries, so since I have a better copy of that, I don't go there. Issue number 21, Moon Knight and Hank Pym join. Issue number 46, first Great Lakes Adventures. And then annual number 1, Return of Someone. This is the free comic book day one, so there wasn't really anything super exciting in this other than like a preview of Ryan Ottley, which I think this is all Ryan Ottley art because that looks like Ryan Ottley's Hulk. Oh, yeah, it is. has right on. I wasn't thinking about keeping it, but you know, kind of have to now. Darn. Avengers Inc. This was an interesting series. Uh, I remember, you know, thinking it was pretty good. I don't remember if it was like just the 4 issues or if it went to 5 though. I think it went to 5, but I might be wrong because I know I had a variant cover for one book. Yep, number 5. So this is a 5-issue series. I don't know where issue 5 is though. I think I saw it in a different box, but not positive. So, yeah, and that's a relatively newer series too. Speaking of relatively new, man, Avengers Twilight, holy shit, such a good book. There's issue 1, variant cover for issue number 2. I loved that cover so much. Number 3, I'm assuming? Yep, number 3. 4, which brings back Thor. Thought that was kind of, you know, fitting that, you know, book 4 was for Thor. Second printing of Hulk vs. Banner, Banner of War. Don't really care for that too much. Ben Reilly Spider-Man. I do like Ben Reilly Spider-Man quite a bit, but fully honest, this series really has nothing that I can remember off the top of my head. I know the Spider Side, I think his name was, shows up in this, and you know, he basically, you know, does a lot of stuff, and then realizes, you know what, Ben Reilly's my brother. I gotta help my bro. And then speaking of Beta Ray Bill, I know I have issue number 1, but this is the mini-series of his that came out like 2022, I believe, by Daniel Warren Johnson. Really fun story. I also really enjoyed the artwork on that. So cool. Not a huge fan of Black Panther, but when I do get, you know, I picked this one up because I thought the cover was gorgeous. Genuinely, I have no purpose of having anything Black Panther. Like I mentioned, not a huge fan of him. So, Blade. This kind of goes along with that storyline for the Avengers. Because Blade basically becomes like the sheriff of like the Chernobyl, which became a vampire safe haven. This is issue number 1 of the Blade series that came out like a year or 2 ago, I believe. Picked up this cover because such a badass negative space cover, and it was such a good story too. Randomly, The Boys, number 18? 18, yeah. Don't know why or where I got that from. This is, you know, an Avengers calendar for 2023. Generally don't really care to have that, if I'm honest. And then it kind of goes into some older Captain America books. Cap and Falcon, number 186. Definitely lower grade copy. Truthfully, don't really care for a lot of Captain America stuffs. Like, I'm not getting rid of all my Captain America stuff, just, you know, certain ones. Like, I'll be keeping this one, issue 310, first appearance of the Serpent Society, I believe. And not a phenomenal copy, but, you know, pretty decent. I believe this is either early appearance or is the first appearance of Crossbones, which I like Crossbones. Very cool character. Not used enough, though. Issue 405, first appearance of Capsule. Issue number 2 of the Nick Spencer run on Captain America with, you know, Nazi Captain America. Oh, I mean, Hydra Captain America. Oopsies. A lot of, gosh. Lots of messages. Lots and lots of messages. Nothing important that I have to read, though. Captain America by Brubaker, issue 44. Brubaker run, pretty cool one. Going back to the Captain America Crossbones thing. This is a one-shot. I remember reading this. This was kind of cool. This was in a 10 books for $10 thing. I know. Don't really need that anymore. The Roy Thomas Captain America and the Invaders, issue number 1. Nothing I can say I remember reading. Campbell's Captain America, issue number 1. I believe that was the one where he was going cross-country, finding other people like Captain America. There's issue 2, number 3, all new Captain America issue number 1. I got this for $1. This is the second printing, which I remember enjoying that quite a bit. I haven't read it in forever though. Uh, gosh, Ed Brubaker's Captain America: Death of a Dream. This is a second printing, which not bad, but gotta say, nothing I really need at the moment. Captain Carter, issue number 1. I know this book kind of blew up for a bit. Captain Marvel, number 1. Mostly picked this up because I was kind of like, why not? It's only $3. I don't really read a lot of Captain Marvel to begin with, and this wasn't a really bad story. I kind of actually enjoy this. But and then, gosh, I don't remember what year this was. I think this was like the 2023 Carnage run. Got the lenticular for issue number 1. Nasty looking issue number 2. And then, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know that went on further than 6 issues, but, Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. Again, badass. Really like anything Carnage-wise. I don't pick up a lot of Carnage books like I used to, but oh gosh. Oh, this is a Chichetto. I never even realized Chichetto was doing this, but that's cool. And all of these have like different, people writing Carnage, which is cool. This one has Donny Cates, Zdarsky, Chichetto. This one had Percy, Ewing. Those are the only ones I can really think of that I know. This one had Dan Slott on it. I don't know the rest of those people. This one had Ryan Stegman on it, which is cool. And then randomly Carnage issue number 1. Don't know what series this is. Issue 2, which gnarly cover. Another Carnage. Oh, Carnage Forever number 1. Champions number 1. I remember finding this, being like, damn, this is really good. I do want to eventually get more of this Champions run because that was cool. And then issue number 6, Civil War number 5, Civil War number 2, number 8, Civil War 2, number 8, which don't really care for. I think I can just, get the graphic of that eventually. And then one of my favorite miniseries that I've read in past years, Cosmic Ghost Rider by Stephanie Phillips. Definitely did a decent job on it for, a character that legit hasn't even been around for too long. Really badass variant on this one. I really like this one. And then issue number 2 or 3 had a really badass variant as well. Issue 4, which Cosmic Ghost Rider basically got split into 2 different entities. One of which was the more homicidal Maniac, and then the other one being, good old boy Frank Castle. Really enjoyed this quite a bit, and Stephanie Phillips, very decent writer, in my opinion. And this is kind of funny because she just announced she's actually going to be writing for Daredevil. I have Daredevil right behind that. I have a lower grade copy of 164 of Daredevil, which I'll just try to get a new one of that. It's not a huge deal. Issue 179, really cool. Really cool Elektra cover. 184, another iconic cover for Daredevil. Issue number 220, and I don't read anything. Oh, this is done by Jed MacKay. I didn't even realize that it was. Man Without Fear by Jed MacKay. Issue number 3. I love Jed MacKay's writing, so. And then this is Daredevil number 595, but it's a lenticular one, which I don't really like the lenticular stuff, so definitely going to get rid of that. This is a second printing to issue number 5, which, him in the Punisher shirt, which, badass. I think this is issue number 1 of Daredevil. I didn't even realize I had that. And then another variant cover by Scotty Young for Dark Ages, which Dark Ages, one of my favorite, like, you know, contained stories, I guess, because it takes place its own, separate universe and stuff. It was done by Tom Taylor, I know. Uh, and it went for 6 issues? Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, very good story. Like, basically, the entirety of the world's power just shuts off, like, because of a celestial that is in the middle of the earth. But I mean, very cool story. Just issue one. Issue two, though, my god. Like, you kind of see a little more about what this universe is about. We have Miles with not just a Venom, but with the Carnage symbiote. Both of them. And then, little Mayday Parker right there. Iron Man made his own armor again. Another one that's pretty cool. And then this one was very, very badass. Uh, the helicarrier actually got turned into a boat, and with the fact that Giant Man was stuck in giant form, when the power got shut off, he can't, because there's like a constant pulse going off, just making sure all the electronic stuff is turned off, and they can't really do anything with it because the person who did it, Doctor Strange, died, so can't really do anything about that. And Giant Man got stuck as Giant, so pretty cool. Issue number 5, which I love this cover, man. I really need to reread this series too. It was so good. So good. And then, something else I forgot to mention. Spider-Man actually made a completely new web shooter for this, which is so cool. Like, Spider-Man's just such a baller, man. Like, my god. And then we have the Darkhold books, Darkhold Spider-Man, Darkhold Blade, and Darkhold Scarlet Witch, which these weren't bad. I remember enjoying, at least the Spider-Man one, because the Spider-Man one was pretty fucking disturbing. But I mean, other than that, like, I mean, I don't really have much use for these anymore. Kind of like that one Crossbones book that I just put put over there. And then Dark Web number 1, Finale number 1, and then Dark Web X-Men. Like, I was really curious about this Dark Web thing, so. Oh, and I just kind of realized they kind of, go with each other. Like, they're kind of the exact same thing, just, reversed, I guess. Because if you go like that, and then that, which I didn't even realize that to begin with. That's kind of cool. And then the X-Men one, I generally like. I don't really remember anything about Dark Web, but I remember, it was kind of cool. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which vaguely remember this series. I think it mostly had to do with him being in his, sleep, which I read everything except the last issue. I know, because I kind of was like, I don't really care too much for it anymore. So that can be something I can get rid of. Deadpool Back in Black, though, that was insane, man. Really good series. I really enjoyed that quite a bit. Funny cover, because Deadpool with Obnoxia the Clown and the Power Pack, all characters everyone should know. And then I think most of this is kind of going to be Deadpool related. It's looking like Deadpool. Yeah, I'll just grab this first stack. Deadpool Black White Blood. Cool. Deadpool Max number 2. It was just a one single issue, I know. So I got this in a mystery box, I know. Cool cover, but I don't really need it too much. Issue number 1 of... Gosh, I know this is the Deadpool run where he gets impregnated with his dog, so... there's that one. There's issue 2, the Peach Momoko variant. Like, I know for the Deadpool run, I mostly just grabbed like the variant covers because the variants were so cool. Issue 3, issue 4, issue 4, which was the main cover. Issue number 5, which, my God, I forgot about this one. Um, I don't know who did this variant cover, but I love them for it. It was ridiculous, man. Issue number 6, another banger. 7, cool. 8, because I think they stopped doing variants for this series after a bit. And then the last issue was actually part of the Fall of X. So, and then the entire miniseries of Rob Liefeld's Deadpool Batter Blood, which I'm not a huge fan of Rob Liefeld's art, and this wasn't a terrible series, but you know, nothing I can say I really remember much about. This one though, I think I just got this book in that other lot. I don't remember. I'll just put it to the side for now, and then when I do fully, organize my books, like alphabetize and stuff, I can, do that better. Deadpool Pulp #1. Yeah, #1. I think I found that for $1 too. Issue 26 of Deadpool by Daniel Way, I think. Yeah, Daniel Way. And then I got these books from my previous roommates, which very nice of them. They didn't have to do that, but they got me issues 1 through 4 of a comic series I already have a graphic of, but Deadpool Killustrated. So since I got that as a gift, I kind of would feel bad if I got rid of it. And then what is this? I think this is Deadpool Absolute Carnage, if I am not mistaken. Oh yeah, Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool #2, which I just really like this variant cover. Which main reason why I buy a lot of books is because the variant just kind of catches my eye. Deadpool 7 Slaughters got this variant cover, which very badass cover. Really do like this one quite a bit. Very good story too. Dead Weights #1. Yeah. Doctor Strange #5. Now, I don't read a lot of Doctor Strange. Definitely did not read this series. Mostly picked it up because I thought that was a gorgeous Scarlet Witch cover. But, and then the Death of Doctor Strange 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I think the rest of this, the rest of these were just like Death of Doctor Strange books, like tie-ins that I didn't read at all. I just picked them up because I was like, oh, I'll get to them. Never did. That was like 2-3 years ago. So I'll just get rid of those as well. And yeah, that actually freed up a decent amount of space in there. Oh my God. And that is the stack I pulled out that I'm going to get rid of. So I basically have another short box worth of books, almost, that I'm getting rid of. So definitely doing pretty good on the getting rid of comic stuff. So yeah. But like I mentioned, I only have like 2 more, but I mean, all that's just stuff that I definitely will be keeping, nothing I'm getting rid of. So don't really have a need to go through it now. All I really need to do is just go through my 6 short boxes at my mom's house, and then, I can start actually, alphabetizing and organizing everything, which is going to take so long, man. It's going to take forever because, I also have to, get rid of a lot of books as well. Because I did this one other time already. I didn't film it. I just kind of went through my boxes relatively quick and we're just pulling out books. I was like, I don't want this, don't care for this, don't do this. But yeah, didn't really work out that way. So, but yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call it there for this live stream. So, shout out to you guys who stopped by and watched. Thank you all very, very much. It's been greatly appreciated. My neck is killing me. So yeah. But yeah, that's really all I have to say, guys. So shout out to all of you. You guys are awesome, and I will my back. Catch you in the next one. So, love you guys. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will catch you later. Peace. I always forget how to turn this off. Oh, it's right there. There we go. Bye, guys.